What's up, Ravens fans? It's time to hear from you guys in our Ravens Mailbag segment. Lots of questions about how the offense and defense look during this week's mandatory minicamp. The first question deals with the offense. Who has shown the best chemistry with Lamar Jackson?
You know, this is a tough one. I wouldn't say that one player has really stood out in this regard. So I'm going to take the easy way out, and I'll give three. Okay. All right? So I'll say Mark Andrews. They certainly seem to be connecting a lot, and I'm a little biased in this opinion because on day one of minicamp, they hit each other. There's a lot of completions there. I think that also quick connection to Mark Ingram. Just it seems like Lamar finds him early and often. Those two seem to be on the same page, which is really unique because they haven't been working together that long. And then another one that I'll point to is Willie Snead. That really is continued from last season when we saw a lot of wide receivers' numbers drop. John Brown, Michael Crabtree in particular. You still saw pretty consistent production from Willie Snead in the tail end of last season, saw him make some plays, and I think that's carried over into this season. So I don't know that Lamar is really honed in on one guy, but it seems like there's a pretty solid connection there.
You didn't say Chris Moore. I thought maybe Chris Moore would be in that mix because he's really, I think, over the course of the offseason program looked pretty good. Mm-hmm. And I feel like he and Lamar have been in sync for much of this time.
Yeah, I would agree with that too.
You know, but the key, honestly, for me, is that it's going to wait until training camp because Hollywood Brown's not even on the field yet. Yeah. He's going to be a big piece of this offense. Miles Boykin has missed a lot of time throughout the offseason. So I need to see the entire complement of guys on the field.
I'll say this. There doesn't seem to be a Joe Flacco to Dennis Pitta kind of connection where you just see Lamar and it's this one guy and he just seems to be really, intent on getting him the ball. It seems like he's spreading it around a lot.
All right, let's move it over to the other side of the ball. This question comes from Louise, and Louise wants to know, piece by piece, is our secondary better than the 2011 Legion of Boom?
All right.
Lofty goal right there. I'm not going to go there quite yet. I think that this Ravens secondary could certainly be the best in the NFL. I mean, you look at it, I don't know who has a better cornerback group than the Ravens have in terms of depth and top-line guys. I mean, Marlon Humphrey is going to be a Pro Bowl caliber player this year. Jimmy Smith, I think, is a Pro Bowl caliber player. Yep. And Brandon Carr's Mr. Reliable. And then you got Tavon Young, who might be the best slot corner in the league. And then with Earl Thomas being healthy, there's been no better ball hawk than him over the past 10 years in the NFL.
Legion of Boom.
Talk about the Legion of Boom. He would be a good guy to answer this question. Yeah. And then Tony Jefferson, we talked with him last week on the podcast, and he talked about how he feels like this year is going to be his breakout season, and Pro Bowl is certainly on his mind.
He's in more of a natural role for him, not paying back as much close to the line of scrimmage.
Well, you compare them to the Legion of Boom. Earl Thomas is Earl Thomas, and then he would be that Cam Chancellor role.
Exactly.
And so look.
But it's to say that Tony's at Cam Chancellor's level, I'm not ready to put him in that category yet.
Here's the thing. The Legion of Boom was one of the best secondaries on one of the best defenses of all time. So to put him in that category yet, I think is a leap. But I think that this secondary is going to be fantastic, and I think now it's just a matter of them to go out there and prove it.
Who's Richard Sherman?
That would be Jimmy Smith.
There you go. He doesn't talk as much. All right, last question comes from Joshua Rouse, and he asks, who do you trust more, our middle linebackers or centers? I don't know what centers he's talking about because I only see one out there, and that's Matt Skura. So I haven't seen any competition really. I would probably say I'm more intrigued by the upside of the middle linebackers. I think that Kenny Young has a lot of potential. Peanut already proved last year how good he can be as a playmaker. So, and I think that Chris Board is a guy that's flying on the radar that's going to be a very good player and perhaps the next in a long lineage of really impact undrafted inside linebackers. So I really like that group a lot. Matt Skura is good. He's solid. I think he's only going to get better because he's had so much experience. He has a full year under his belt at center. But I like the upside of the inside linebackers better.
How about this? I trust both of these positions.
I trust both of them. I'm not saying anything against Matt Skura. I trust him.
I'm just really not worried about either of those positions. I sound like John Harbaugh saying I'm not worried one bit about our inside linebackers or our center. I think both of those positions are going to be just fine.
Yeah, and I would say this about the inside linebackers. I think they're well-tailored for today's game.
Yeah, fast.
They're fast. Peanut's a converted safety. Kenny is a very sideline-to-sideline guy, just a playmaker, moves a lot. Chris is more in your traditional downhill kind of guy, but you need a complementary piece like that. So I think that for today's game, the Ravens are built very well. A great secondary and these inside linebackers who can cover and move around the field with ease.
Awesome. So that's all the time we have questions for this week, but we love to hear from you guys. So send in those questions every single week on social media using the hashtag RavensMailbag. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.